Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a comparison of 3 tote bags. One is the real Louis Vuitton Neverfull tote in the damier print. Another is made by the company 24. And the last one is made by the company Daisy Rose. All 3 of these bags look pretty good, but I'm going to do a closer inspection and go through some details to help you decide which bag is right for you. Before I start to review these bags, I do want to mention that the bag made by 24 and the bag that's made by Daisy Rose are Louis Vuitton inspired bags. These are not counterfeit bags. They do not have the Louis Vuitton emblem on them anywhere, whether it be inside the bag or on the outside of the bag. So on camera, you may be able to tell which one is the real bag because only the real bag has the Louis Vuitton emblem on the canvas. But if you are not able to tell, I can identify for you which one is the real one, and that is in fact the one that's here. It's going to be your left, but my right. So you may be wondering why I have 3 tote bags that look identical. So just to give a little backstory, the Louis Vuitton damier print is something that I've really liked for a long time. But it wasn't until more recently that I had enough money to splurge on a Louis Vuitton tote bag. Before purchasing the Louis Vuitton, I had done a lot of research. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos and heard of a company by the name of Daisy Rose. And then I'd also heard of a company by the name of 24. You can get both the Daisy Rose and the 24 from Walmart, and for the Daisy Rose, you can get it on the Daisy Rose website. This back here is the Daisy Rose version, and in front I have the 24 version. Now the Daisy Rose I spent $49.98, and on the 24 bag was $35.56. So I purchased both of these because I wanted to just see, I was curious as to the quality of the bag. What I can tell you is that between these 2 bags, this being again the 24, this being the Daisy Rose is much better made. So we can start here with even just the material. The material on this canvas is definitely softer. In terms of the sheen, I think it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but in person, the Daisy Rose just it looks like it could actually be canvas. I'm not really sure what this is. I don't think it's canvas. In comparing it to the real Louis Vuitton bag, the canvas on the real one is much more malleable. It has a slightly different type of sheen to it. I don't think it's quite as shiny as the Daisy Rose bag, and I don't know how it's going to be picked up on the camera. But in terms of the naked eye, this one tends to be shinier than this. This is certainly more structured, I'd say. Whereas the Daisy Rose feels more structured, which I think is a good thing. The 24 is very stiff. In all bags, by the way, I have an insert so that they're at least standing upright and structured in at least a similar way. Otherwise, this bag might collapse in on itself. And anywhere there's a crease, which most of the creases are out, well, actually, I shouldn't say that because here you do see there are some creases from the way it's been shipped. And just to mention, I have had all of these bags for just about a year. So the 24 bag has been out of the packaging and it's had an insert in it. So it just just so you're aware, even though it's been out of the packaging, it's had an insert, and I even stuffed it at one point to try to get the creases out. The creases have remained in the bag, so just be mindful of that. The 24 bag is less money than the Daisy Rose, but it's worth the extra. Not sure how much more we're talking here. So between $36 and $50, I would say it's worth purchasing the Daisy Rose if you're interested in going this route. In terms of the lining, so the 24 has a lining that's more similar to the real bag. You have the stripes. You do also get the extra bag, which I don't have in it right now, but I believe they call that, let's see, the wristlet. So all of the bags, they should come with a wristlet. This one also came with a wristlet. It's closer to the size of the real Louis Vuitton. And then just very briefly, in terms of the lining in the Daisy Rose is a very soft lining. It is a solid scarlet, and it's red, but it's more like a scarlet red color. I don't know how well you can see that. Comes with a wristlet. There's really not much you can put in these wristlets, to be honest, but it does come with a wristlet, just like the original Louis Vuitton. This is a little bit smaller than what you get in the Louis Vuitton bag. The wristlet that comes with the 24 bag, I don't have it here with me right now, but it is larger than what you get with the Daisy Rose bag. So, be that what it is. I don't find the wristlet is, again, it's so narrow. I'm not really sure what you could fit in here. Maybe some lip balm, a few tissues, an ID, maybe your car keys, you put that in here, but it gets filled up very quickly. But for the Daisy Rose, it is slightly smaller. The one that you get with the 24 bag, it is a larger wristlet, but it has that same sort of plasticky feel. So again, this is why I'm doing this video, because I think visually these all may look very, very close, but when you look at it up close and you get a chance to feel it and even smell it, like the Daisy Rose had no odor. The 24, it did have somewhat of a chemical odor to it. So again, I would say of these two, I would go with the Daisy Rose. So for now, I'm going to stick the 24 bag. I'm going to put it down here. Since I've kind of eliminated that, I probably won't be using this bag. I may ultimately, since it's just taking up space in my closet, I may end up just giving this one away. All right, so I'm going to put this one down here. So now let's compare the Daisy Rose with the real Louis Vuitton bag. So a couple of things to note here. The straps, they are thicker on the Daisy Rose. They are not leather, and I don't think it actually says in here what this is ultimately made of, but you can kind of tell by the feel of it. However, the stitching is very nice. It's a very tight stitching. There's no loose stitches on it. As I said, the lining, there are slip pockets in here. The lining is very soft. I think the color is beautiful. It has these ties, these poles on the side, which don't really function all that well. And again, I think it's because this bag is structured, so it's hard to push in a bag that is so very structured. However, the beauty of that is that it stands up on its own. I do have an insert in here, but even with the insert out of it, I did use this initially before I received the insert, and it stands up on its own even without the insert. But I do recommend inserts because it makes it a lot easier to find your keys and your phone and your wallet. So I do highly recommend inserts. But if you didn't want to get an insert, you could get away with that with the Daisy Rose bag. The Louis Vuitton bag, The straps, as I mentioned, are thinner. The stitching is very nicely done, of course. You can feel the difference. You can tell that this is a leather strap. You can tell it's a leather along the perimeter of the bag. And of course, this also has the brown along the perimeter of the bag. This has some creasing in it, but the Louis Vuitton also has creasing in it. This is just, I think, the nature of it. You use the bag, there's going to be wearing that occurs. Just because it is an expensive bag, it's a high fashion name, doesn't mean that it's not prone to being damaged. And maybe I shouldn't say damage as much as just used. You're going to see creases. You may see bending. It's going to happen whether you have a designer bag or you have a Daisy Rose bag. The Louis Vuitton lining, so it has a stripe, and it's definitely red. This is more of like an apple red as opposed to a scarlet. It seems more burgundy in here. This is definitely red. You have the slip pockets, you have the wristlet in here, which, like I said, it is bigger than the Daisy Rose, but nevertheless, I'm not even sure what I have. I have some stuff in here, but it gets bulky quickly, so I don't put a lot in here. Again, I have an insert in this bag as well, which you really do need an insert for this bag because the canvas is more malleable. You'll see it folds in on itself. Without the insert, it does definitely collapse. So an insert, I think, is a requirement if you want to use this bag and you want it to be more structured. Some of you, that may not matter to you, and sure, you can use it without it. But this, I find, is helpful keeping the bag upright, and then even when I'm in here trying to find things, having the insert does help, so I can quickly find my phone and find my keys, find my wallet. So I do recommend having an insert for this bag. The ties, I don't usually use them, but let's see. It will stay. I mean, I can tell whoever had this bag before me, which I did buy this secondhand, they probably didn't use them either. I mean, it's just not something that I would probably ever use. I kind of like the fact that it stays open. I bought this bag mostly because I have a lot of stuff, so I like the fact that it's open. Now, I just mentioned that I purchased this secondhand. I got this at a store that they have two locations. They're both quite close to me. And I went there in person. I looked at the bag. I got a certificate of authenticity. But I did a lot of research. There's certain things that you can look for to make sure that, in fact, it is an authentic bag. It's helpful that there is a certificate of authenticity, but I always think that it's good that the consumer is educated. So when you go in, you might be handed a certificate of authenticity, but then in order for me to really feel 100% confident, I did my research and I looked at certain specific things that tend to be found in counterfeit bags. In terms of, looking at these two bags, I think, really the Daisy Rose is a great deal. After using this bag, I decided I wanted to see the Louis Vuitton, what it had to offer. In terms of weight, I just mentioned a couple other things. This bag, the Louis Vuitton's lighter than the Daisy Rose. Not so significantly that I would say, oh, you definitely want to get the Louis Vuitton because it's lighter. It is lighter. It's more delicate. Just, you can feel it. You can feel the difference. If I feel this compared to the Daisy Rose. But having said that, which of these two bags are the right choice? As I've mentioned before, I tend to, when I was using this bag, I was using it daily. I was always reaching for this bag. I didn't have worries about scratching, bending, any sort of damage. Since I've purchased a Louis Vuitton bag, I'm using this a lot less. I use it for select occasions, so this has become a select bag. I don't use this every day. So, this is why, I've had some second thoughts about, whether I should have purchased this bag. Of course you can sell it, and, that's something that I'm considering doing. I haven't made a final decision yet, but I think it's something that, I feel I should share. I mean, this is a lot of money. I spent over $1,000 on this bag. This bag is now, I looked it up today, it's $2,030. That is a lot of money to spend on a handbag. Just a word of advice, if you do like this bag, this print, why not get the Daisy Rose? Try it out, see if it's something that you really like. Just be mindful of the fact that this does have a thicker strap. I find because it is a thicker strap, it tends to be more comfortable than the more narrow strap. However, this is lighter because it is more delicate, more malleable. It will mold to your body a little bit better. So on the arm, it doesn't give me any resistance. It molds nicely to the body. The Daisy Rose, I do get some resistance here, and you can push it in, you can push the bag in, but it does not feel as quality as this, but still, the price difference is huge. So how much you value this and some of the features that this has versus this, the fact it's not as malleable, it doesn't mold to the body as well. This is $50 and this new is $2,030. So, and again, yes, you can save money on the secondhand market, but I would recommend going to a store, a reputable store, look at reviews, go there in person, do your research, make sure you're getting a certificate of authenticity. And again, this is a beautiful bag. It's absolutely a beautiful bag. This is perfectly fine. I think that this is a high quality bag. So there you have it. Couple other extras. If you go to the Daisy Rose website, they have other things on there. Really kind of cool, nifty things. Little change purse. A little thing for your keys. Zipper, not great. I mean, I will say that this zipper's a little rough, but still has a nice feel to it. Sunglass holder. I thought this was really neat. Very slim, doesn't take up a lot of space. I found a lot of sunglasses that they have these holders. They're massive. They take up tons of room in your bag. This just folds right open. Put sunglasses in there. You can see the Daisy Rose emblem. It's magnetic, so it just clicks. There you go. Very easy. Also have a wallet. This zipper is much better than the change purse, but again, you have an inner pocket for change, card slots, place for your money. So there's alternatives out there. If you're not ready to spend this, and if there's things that I've said about this bag that would tend to make you just decide instead, hey, I'd rather go with the $50 bag, the one that has the more comfortable straps, The one that's more structured and probably will last me, it may actually last me longer and not get damaged. So I wanted to at least present this as an alternative to this bag. So again, I hope this was helpful. If you have questions, I will try to get to them as quickly as I can. So again, any questions about the Louis Vuitton, the Daisy Rose, the 24 bag, you know, I'm happy to try to answer them. I'm sure there's things I have not covered about these bags that you may want to hear about. But feel free to send me a question and I will try to answer it as quickly as I possibly can. In the meantime, happy shopping. All right, good luck to everyone. See you next time. Bye for now.